Hey, welcome back to Fallout
Father has
4.
done remarkable things. I would not exist were it not for him.
Whatever, creepy lady. So now I'm supposed to go around and meet the leaders, I suppose.
Drive servo. That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as
Doctor?
they weren't
I don't
kidding.
know.
You really
Most
are
of them
here.
have lasted
Well,
long
all
past
right.
their projected lifespans.
I'm Allie. Allie
You ask
Fillmore.
me,
You can
we're
think of
built
me as the
pretty well.
Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much. I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
So this is probably going to be a combat light video, I imagine.
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go.
So this is
Reporting status. All functions normal.
this is kind of a cool like sci-fi twist that they're going on here.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. Alright, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
I apologize for any disruptions.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I've always been such a freaking sucker for robots and that kind of shit.
Greetings, ma'am.
To knock some heads together.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
On the
You
targeting
don't happen to
package
have a
upgrades
spare
I have.
polarizer on
Maybe
you,
I
would
should
you?
take some courses with me. Send a message.
Ooh.
Hey, Doc.
So,
There's enough friction as it is between
here you
us
are.
and pretty
Justin
much all
Ayo,
the other departments.
Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
I guess we'll find out.
Indeed. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
Man, what a dick. Okay. Who's next?
Adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
I don't know how I feel about that, lady.
Clearance confirmed.
Alright, who's next?
All systems nominal.
We'll start the next trial. The dosage
Oh, I can freaking sleep in here. Let me see if that takes away my rads. It does not. Damn it. Some med bay that is. Advanced systems. Let's check this out.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
I get the impression you don't want me here.
What I want, in this case, is largely irrelevant. Father gave his orders. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
Is everything okay, Dr. Lee? You seem pretty tense.
Yes, things are... It's fine. I'm sorry, I don't socialize much. I prefer to focus on my work.
Ice Queen. These people are, freaking weirdos. I think I'll go through and read this stuff later. Grenades! Free grenades! Alright! Man, why can't I pick up... There we go, fusion cells. Alright. And they're giving me all kinds of shit. Alright. What's next? Okay, I'm over in the bioscience division now. Just gonna poke around in here a little bit first. So, I read that terminal a little bit, and it turns out that Dr. Lee, that I talked to, the leader, has been spending a lot of time with some child synth. Everyone thinks it's like really creepy. Cauterizer. So I don't know, there might be a little bit more there later on. Man, they have all kinds of stuff that I can just rob blind. A lot of ammo. Sweeper, no, probably don't need that. I like how it's all rusty. Okay, I'm gonna clean this out real quick.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
I think Dr. Carlin was looking for help with one of his experiments. You should talk to him.
Dr. Holdren?
Anything I can help you with?
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Just walk away from me? Alright, you know, I didn't even see these gorillas. I don't know where they are, if they're in this room or what. This big one I'm in. Unless I, like, walked past them. Oh, this is like some old school shit pre-war. Alright, nothing. Oh. Ooh, terminal. Oh wait, I want to go look at the... There they are.
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results. All this must be a little overwhelming for you.
Okay, so I guess I'll go talk to Father again and see what he wants me to do.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
First things first. How do I get back to the surface?
The same way you got in, of course. You are not a prisoner here. You may come and go as you please. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
If the synths are intelligent and self-aware, then they have a right to free will.
However closely they may approximate human behavior, they are still our creations. When you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that we know what is best for our synths. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
Who erased his memories? And why?
Those idealistic radicals who call themselves the Railroad are behind it. We'll deal with them in time. But right now, the priority is to reclaim that synth before more harm is done. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Okay, so it sounds like we'll finally get some combat. So I think I'll take on this reclamation thing, and I will start a new video.